Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, family? Once again, it is another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show. It is yours truly, Mr. Just As Joe, and my brother from another mother. Hey, I tell you what, we don't look alike, but we got the same Mother Earth, Mr. John Yah. What's going on,
What's
family?
up, brother? What's happening? Great intro. Oh,
man.
man, made me feel really good. How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, I'm doing fantastic, man. It's just, when you wake up, man, and it's a beautiful day outside, man. You look around and you're just like, man, it's beautiful outside. How can you not be excited about the adventure of life?
That's right, man. Awesome. You are absolutely right.
Man, I tell you what, I think if I was homeless, seeing the sunshine first like that, man, I'd jump up, get excited, and go buy a house. Man, I'd figure it out.
How you doing it? What's happening with you, brother? What you do this week?
Oh man, this week, man, I'm on the same venture as one of our amazing guests as well, in building life insurance agency, and just working hard at that. Lots of conversations with lots of different people, and just awesome. Celebrated a friend's birthday yesterday as well. So just had a good time, man. Good people, good friends. Just a really fantastic week, and topping it off with celebrating a birthday is awesome. Somebody gets to celebrate another year to make something amazing of their life. So that's awesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is the time to make something happen too. This is the perfect time to make something happen in your life. There is a shift going on right now, and we'll be discussing that surely in this show. A financial shift of wellness, right? And so, yeah, we want to get into that also because we're getting into the second pandemic, and as we know, there has been lots of millionaires made during the last year pandemic. We're gonna see if we can't top that this year too.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. We got a great show today, man, and I'm excited about this show. And I didn't even think about the dopeness of today's show until this morning. I thought father child, father child. We're gonna have two fathers and their seed on the show today. So
oh man, that's awesome.
That's awesome, man. And I think that it's awesome. I know personally, as I got older, my father, though is still the person I reach out to for advice, he became more like my brother, which is awesome. Awesome. So you know, all that good stuff. I want to give a big shout out to Facebook listeners, Keisha Williams, Grand Rising, Frank Stoner, Grand Rising. I think Frank is going to be on the show later today as well. We're going to catch him in an awkward position, right?
I hope so.
I think that's his goal, is for us to catch him in an awkward position, and we've caught him in this position before, and he's going to tell us what that's all about, and why it's important to do what he does. So if you guys ever want to check us out online, you can check us out on Facebook live at the Tipping Point Morning Show, the Tipping Point Radio Show, the Tipping Point Show. Just type it in the search and you'll find us. You can also hit us up on YouTube at the Tipping Point Show as well. So hashtag the Tipping Point Morning Show, and you will find us on YouTube. Very easy. So we go live there as well. We're working on live on Instagram as well. So all that good stuff. It's gonna be pretty dope today. What have you had going on this week yourself, brother?
Oh man, still another busy week, which I love being busy. So, same old thing, business. I'm learning more and more about the import is going on right now. I got containers held up in Taiwan now that's holding up my products. So
Wow.
now I'm having to learn to order earlier because usually it would take anywhere from 30 to 60 days to get a container in from China or overseas. Now it's taking up to 3 to 6 months. And that right
Wow.
there, everybody's going to be suffering. Everybody that's importing products in, all products are going to end up going up because of this. And it's something that's going on right now that they're doing to the economy. But I'm recognizing it on my end because my tank containers are not coming in as normally anymore. So now I'm kind of in a feel like I'm in a little bit of a pressure to now ordering way more ahead than I ever ordered before because that's the game. You ain't got the products, you ain't got a business.
Gotcha. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, with that in mind, man, then I mean that's slowing up everything. That's slowing
Yes.
up money from different directions, and that's slowing things up, man. That's not cool.
No, it's not
Are they
cool.
doing it on purpose out there? Are they
You know,
purposely trying to mess with things?
I'm not sure. I did talk to my custom broker about that, and he said it's kind of going on all over the slowdown. And they blame it on the COVID thing, lack of workers being off work, or whatever the case may be. But just said, my broker tells me to look forward to it and be ahead of it because it's coming.
Wow, wow. It's just amazing as I look around. Yesterday, I was driving here locally in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm driving down the popular Bardstown Road area, man, and I'm just seeing for sale, for rent, I'm seeing all these signs up of businesses that used to be there. I seen one space used to be called Hopcat. Man, they left in the pandemic, and the front of their store has turned into a homeless shelter. Like, I
Mm,
mean, it is amazing. And what's a trip is our tent city for the homeless is nothing. I thought it was crazy, right? Being here. But once I bounced out to like California, even Oregon, Portland, Oregon, and when I bounced out to like the LA area, Long Beach area, and Cali, I said, whoa. When it comes to
yes.
homelessness and what's going on with this pandemic, man, I said, whoa, whoa. So they have nothing. We have nothing on them when it comes to that homeless game. I mean, anywhere you go, I was in Portland, Oregon, man. You go to the bank to use the ATM, and if there's a tree with some dirt somewhere in the parking lot, you best believe there's a tent right there with somebody posted up. There are streets that you drive down that is nothing but people who I guess their cars don't work anymore, and they've turned their vehicles with doors open into tents and things with tarps and all type of stuff, and it's just streets upon streets like that, man. It's crazy. This pandemic, man, has really, or should we be calling it the pandemic or the pandemic?
Well, the homeless thing has always been an issue even before the pandemic, but it is making it worse because now what we're going to get into is divisions. And now we're going to get into that division of the vacciners, those who've taken the vaccine to those who have not taken the vaccines. It's going to be even more of a divided world that's coming up. So I tell everyone to get ready for your vibration, change your vibration, looking at things differently because the world is about to change before your eyes.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I tell you what, it's a trip, man. It is absolutely a trip, man. We got a great show coming up, man. We have a young lady. I think you might know her. Her name is Kia Brown, and she's gonna be coming up here to talk about her ventures into the life insurance industry. And then we also have another brother. You may know him as well. I know him just a little bit. And he's my father. But I mean, in the chat here, uh, he said he wasn't my daddy, so I'm not sure. He did put an LOL behind that, so I don't know what that guy, man. He's a funny dude, but either way, he's gonna be on the show as well, talking about some new business ventures, as well as brother Jacie Rowe. of the Jacie Comedy Show out in LA. He's going to be on as well, talking some stuff with us about his business ventures. And we'll probably, all continue this conversation about what's going on as well. Because my pops, I'm seeing some people around me, man, that are out there getting the jab, man, and so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But outside of that, man, you've had some do you have somebody working for you to post on your Facebook page, man? You've got a lot of stuff going on there, man.
No, I don't actually. So I just spend a little time probably in my mornings, and I take a little moment out before work gets started. I may go on Facebook and play around a little bit. But I had a show last week about Ghana and the relationship between African Americans and the Ghanaians. We got kind of disrupted with the technology, but we're going to try to come back and do a second piece on the Ghanaians. We talk about the vaccine. We want to talk about the vaccine, how Ghana was the first country in Africa to get the vaccine, but yet at the same time, the Ghanaians are not taking the vaccine. So I wanted to get back with him on that issue and some other stuff that's, in the relationship is more important, how we see them and how they see us.
I'm curious about that because I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I don't care if somebody calls me that. I noticed certain things like, for instance, the Haitian president, died, right? He denied the vaccines to the country. And then he ended up dead. There's like 2 other presidents of smaller countries as well that denied the WHO access and denied the vaccines. And they all ended up dead not too long after. I remember 2 of them had heart complications. So it's interesting the way that works, man. But I'm not saying that that's anything. I'm just saying it sounds weird.
Yes, exactly.
It sounds weird. So
did I call in yet?
I don't think so. Brother Jay has. Do we have a caller call in? Man, I don't know. Man, are we? Well, I know.
You got your guest on line 1.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so folks, without further ado, we have a young lady who is an amazing young lady, very smart, business professional. On the show with us, her name is Miss Kia Brown. Miss Kia Brown, welcome to the Tipping Point Morning Show. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. Thank you.
Fantastic. Now, I do believe that some of us here on the show. I believe Brother John Jaab. How long have you known this gentleman?
All my life.
Absolutely amazing. This is the daughter of Brother John Jaab, Miss Kia Brown, and I understand that you are, you are in the financial sector, focusing on some things that you don't see many people your age focusing on when it comes to business and making money. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, so I'm an insurance broker. I sell final expense whole life insurance, mainly to our senior citizens, but occasionally it's to younger people, maybe 40-year-old, maybe younger sometimes. But my main market is our senior citizens for sure.
Got you. Now, is there any other? I understand that you also dabble a little bit into the stock market as well. Is that true?
Yeah, so I used to day trade. I did that for about 3 years. This was way before I kind of found myself in the insurance industry. But yeah, I've done that before, and that looked great.
Let me ask you a question. How long have you been in the insurance industry, and how did you get started, and what brought you around to this field of business?
Yeah, so I think it would be about a year now. A year this month. Last year, I was just looking for a job I could make a little money in. Honestly, my true focus at the time is kind of funny. I wanted to start an online business a year ago. That was my main focus. So I figured, okay, well, I'll get a job and make a little money, and I'll use that money to fund that business. The insurance industry kind of just fell in my lap. I was applying to a bunch of jobs. I think I accidentally applied to an insurance job, not on purpose. They were one of the ones that called me into an interview and got me set up to get my license. And once I got my license, I just kind of rolled with it. But honestly, it was not intentional. I just wanted a little job to make money so I could start doing something else. But I kind of fell into the insurance industry, and it's working so well now that I don't see why I would stop.
So when did you decide to to become a broker and go at it with looking for and purchasing your own leads?
Yeah, so I started with a captive agency where I'm working specifically at that company, and I can only sell their products. And that just didn't really work out. They had outdated leads of uninterested people, and it was just a nightmare. It was also field sales, where I would actually have to go to people's houses, and that was a drag. I mean, you put a lot of miles on not only your car but yourself, trying to run around the city to meet these people. So when I left my first company, I ended up finding another company that was actually a brokerage and not a captive agency. And I think that really opened my eyes to the possibilities after I got with a brokerage.
And so what is your success now in being in where you are now and your accomplishments? Because this is a short amount of time, actually. And where you are now actually is an interesting boost of growth. I just noticed it, and you can talk about this if you like, within the last, 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, and that's come from telesales. I switched from doing field sales, going to people's houses, kind of trying to track them down. I do telesales. I do everything from home. I sell right over the phone, and I prefer it this way because I'm able to reach more people. When you're kind of canvassing in an environment or a neighborhood, you can only go so far. But when it's online, I can reach anyone across the country. As long as I'm licensed in that state, I can talk to anyone. So it's just a lot. It's a much better model. I've made more money doing telesales than I've ever made in field sales. And, I think every insurance agent got to know what is their area. You have the field agents who are really, really good at that and meeting people face to face, which I don't mind. It's just not my specialty. I'm better at talking to people over the phone and getting them to that point where they see the value in getting insurance for the ones that they love.
So when you think about that, you hit on something right there. You said the value in it. You and I are both in the same field of insurance sales, and one of the things that I've found is when times get tough financially, one of the first things that goes for people is their life insurance. And it's just interesting because I've seen that happen. People let go of it, and then next thing you know, they forget or what have you to sign back up. They pass away, and now the family has to struggle in order to get money together. And in our community, we found GoFundMe to be the new the new policy, which to me is quite embarrassing, to be honest. But we found that as something to use. But the value is life insurance about when you die, or is it about the people that you leave behind? What would you say, Miss Kia?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, I think a big part is when you die, you know that your family has money to get through that time, whether it's to replace lost income or, pay the bills and keep stuff running, take care of a funeral. Yeah, I think that that's the biggest value in it. But also, we have programs that have living benefits where you don't have to die to get the money. And it's kind of a safety net for your health, because if you happen to become critically, chronically, or terminally ill, they'll allow you, certain insurance companies will allow you to access 50 to 100% of the money while you're still living, to help you with any medical bills or expenses. And that's a big deal, because medical bills are sky high. If you don't have insurance, or if your insurance does not pay everything, then that's going to be a big problem for you. So I think that there's quite a few ways to accurately and efficiently use life insurance, not only after you're dead, but while you're still alive.
So is life insurance a great way for people to build wealth? One of the things Joe and I talked about is a lot of Europeans, they get life and they just have mediocre jobs, and they'll go get $100,000-$200,000 policy. And you know what? I think what we don't do, we don't look for investments for our children. We look for investments just for us right now. Let me get in and get out so I can spend that money now. But life insurance is different. In fact, if everyone had life insurance, specifically African Americans or the people who are of color, our wealth gap would change tremendously. What do you see in the life insurance of people that your clients are? They mostly white, or are they kind of mixed? Who are your clients?
The best people are the senior citizens, because they're older, they see the value more. I've sold to younger people my age and even younger. If they don't see the value in it, I think young people just kind of think that they're invincible, they're never gonna die, and they just don't see it as a necessity. But older people really get the value. They know that their time is limited here, and they want to make sure that their family is taken care of. So I think the best market, in my opinion, has been 60 years and up.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Now what about the pandemic? Is the pandemic playing a role with increased people getting in life insurance now? Is that fear that they're pushing, making people want to get some insurance?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I didn't really get into it until after the pandemic kind of slowed down. It would have really been nice to have been in the insurance industry before the pandemic, and then I could compare it. But because I didn't get into it until after the pandemic has really slowed down. It's hard to say, but I do have other agents, friends and colleagues who have said that the pandemic really did increase the urgency in wanting life insurance, for sure.
I can definitely attest to that, as I coincidentally went into telesales and full time as an agent last January 2020, and man, it was like people were waiting for me to call. I'd call and just somebody pick up the phone, say it's a pandemic outside. Oh, okay, let me have whatever life insurance you got. It was fantastic, man. Because I mean, as far as sales and things of that nature, man, sales were up. Like, man, y'all are valuing insurance, and that's really what it is. It's to value. I tell people that if it comes between my cell phone bill and my life insurance policy, that I'm gonna go ahead and pay my life insurance policy. It's that important. because you just don't know. I mean, I've got a client right now who I just did a death claim with her daughter. You know, I initially called to talk to her and sign her up with the policy. She's 80 years old. And here it is a year later, because we went ahead and we signed up her daughter as well. And her daughter's 50 years old. A year later, she calls in to me to do a death claim for her daughter. You know, her daughter died. Some infection or what have you. Doctors couldn't figure it out, and her daughter's gone. So you never know. The one commonality that we all have is that none of us know when we're gonna pass. We just know that we won't leave this earth alive.
Mm.
So it's important, and Kia, with what you're doing, is it's fantastic. Keep up the great work because you're helping families. Money doesn't bring people back, but it does make things easier when someone passes. I've seen situations where money's not there, and then next thing you know, the family's arguing over who's going to pay for this, that, and the other. And I'm sure that that person that passed did not want that to go down that way. So when you're setting up policies, folks, it's all about the people you leave behind. Those are the people that you're doing this for, to make life easier for them. So just think about that. Kia, fantastic. Keep up the good work. Any last thing you want to let anyone know, or how they can reach you if they're looking to get a policy themselves?
Yeah, so my direct line number is 859-659-1407. They can also reach me at viabrownfinancial@aol.com.
Great.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it's been fantastic. Thank you for calling in. And until next time, we will see you once again on the Tipping Point Show.
All right, perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right, you're welcome.
Absolutely, absolutely. I tell you what, man. How does that make you feel as a father to be sitting in a situation like this where you're on a show, co-host of a show, and your daughter calls in to talk about her great professional experience?
Well, but yeah, that's very interesting. That interview, having an interview with your daughter, it's very proud. I'm very proud of her. But what I'm also proud of is mostly everybody who has a child. You don't want to die until you see that your child can make it out here in the world. Man. You see, so you want to do what you got to do to stay here, keep your health up, to where you can see that child of yours grow up and become an adult, and you know they can make it without asking you for no money. That's the dream right there, right? That I know that I can leave in peace. That she's gonna be all right, no matter how much money I leave her. It ain't the thing. It's knowing how to handle the money.
Exactly.
Is another thing.
What to do with it.
So, what to do exactly. So I'm very proud of her, and at this stage right here, because I can see now she knows how to handle her finances, and she knows she'll know how to make it out here.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, man. That damn near brings tears to my eyes, brother. Just being a father and having my father in my life, wanting to make him proud, and then my kids in my life, wanting to see them in the same way, to see them successful, and know that at this point, if I pass, that everything will be okay. They will be good. And I mean, man, that's what you said, to want to focus on your health in order to stay alive long enough to see that. That's love, brother. That is some fantastic love. And I tell you what, you're blessed with that love, because with a BB Toomey Trading Company, that is the home of Saya Baba and Soap Sticks products in over 400 locations at a store near you. You can also find it at sayababa.com, and that is owned by yours truly, brother John Ya. That's SYABABA baby.com, SYABABA.com, sayababa.com. Folks, check it out. All right. You can send emails. You can go online, check the link, all that good stuff. Like I said, in over 400 locations near you. And that includes outside the country in the beautiful country of Ghana. All right, so you can check him out there as well. You can fly out there just to go get John
just to go get a pack
just
of
to go get a Jaab and Soap Sticks product in Ghana. Next up, we got Health Daddy Wow, healthdaddywow.net, home of the 100% plant-based vitamins, herbs, cleanses, and teas. They are here to help you live longer, feel better, look great. Folks, locally, they're here at 1806 Ralph Avenue, Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sunday, 12 noon to 5 p.m. Listen, folks, they package their products themselves. They're out there with little tiny knives and things, cutting up teas and herbs and all type of stuff, just stuffing it in capsules so you can live longer, live better, 100% plant-based vitamins, herbs, and cleanses. Again, healthdaddywow.net. Shout out to Brother Frank Stoner for that one. Next up, folks, we have an amazing caller on the line, I believe is with us, and that is Brother Joseph Health Coach Tapper, who's on the line with us, and I believe also here online with us. So, Brother Tapper, how you doing?
I'm good. And let's see.
Man, fantastic.
Can you hear me?
Absolutely. We absolutely can. We appreciate that. And folks, this is, yes, he does share the same last name as me. This is my pops, my brother from another mother as well, my grandmother. And he's here today to kind of talk about some new ventures that he's into. And just the same, we're going to talk about why some people get the jab as well. But first up, you've got this new title here called Health Coach Tapper. Tell us what that's about.
Man, I got excited about something. I have been wanting to help people lose weight. About a year ago, I told Janet, I wish I had a magic wand that I could wave over people's head and the weight would fall off. Because I watched your mother as she was trying to lose weight, and I mean, she drank nasty green juice that she made in the Vitamix that had nothing added but greens, and I would taste it and it would make me want to vomit, but she drank it because she wanted to lose weight so bad. It's easy to gain weight, but it's almost impossible to lose weight. I don't know what's going on now. You know, everybody's become more docile and sedate, but it's impossible to lose weight. And so when I came across this and weight loss is actually possible, I just got excited about it. When I saw it work with, Janice, it just got me excited. So I try to help as many people as I can, and the weight is just falling off. And I think that I can help with, greenhouse, the global warming, because I think if everybody loses weight, the earth can spin faster and it'll cool off.
So you're saying if people get skinnier, then that'll help with global warming?
Yeah, the earth won't struggle under all that weight trying to turn. It's lower and it's getting hotter.
Well, I tell you what, so with that in mind, now you mentioned someone, you said Janice. Tell the listeners out there who a Janice is to you.
Janice is my second wife, and we've been married about 5 years now. She's Dr. Janice, DMP. And, she's a medical practitioner. I'm more into nutrition. And so we butt heads. And when I tried to get her to lose weight with my process, then we butt heads. She was having knee pain at one time, and she kept going to the doctor. They would give her a shot in the knee, and that would be a temporary cure, some kind of steroid or something. And so I said, your body is not lacking steroid. That's not what's causing this knee pain. And So finally, I was able to persuade her to go see a naturopathic doctor, and that doctor told her everything that I've been telling her. I just sat there smiling, and she looked at me and she laughed. She said, "Look at him, he's just grinning because you're telling me everything he's been telling me." Now she came on board. She lost 30 pounds, and she's feeling amazing. So now she's my biggest client.
That is amazing. So I guess the fact that a naturopathic doctor had the name doctor there, she listened a little bit more.
Yeah, because people listen to people with degrees, but they don't realize we die by degrees. Unless you get shot with a gun, but you die by degrees. So don't get hung up on those degrees, man. The knowledge and wisdom is out there for you. You just listen.
Absolutely. Do you think that people are hypnotized by the long white coats?
Oh yeah. I mean, just because you have a coat and a stethoscope around your neck, think about it. You walk into this person's office, and they have that white coat on. There's a certificate on the wall, stethoscope around their neck, and you talk to them, and they tell you you have 6 months to live. You were feeling fine before you walked in there, and now all of a sudden you're depressed, you're upset, only to find out that was a cleaning lady that was messing around with the doctor's lab coat that she found in there. But we believe that white jacket, that stethoscope, man, we put all of our beliefs into that. And that's why they say, it's so important to get a second opinion now, because, man, people used to just give that power to that person with that white coat, and whatever they said went. You're feeling fine. All of a sudden, you got 6 months to live, and you're depressed. Well, go back out the door and forget about going in there, man. And just feel like you want to feel.
One thing that we say here on the show is we talk about ourselves being the first doctor. John Yaw actually says that a lot, is we should be our very first doctor there. Go ahead, John. What were we going to say?
Yeah, well, that's the power of the placebo. When you are listening to someone and your mind is open, you are allowing them to put a suggestion in the back of your subconscious. And it's the same as they're giving people a placebo medicine. This will work for you. And you go home and take it at work. It wasn't the medicine because it was just a sugar pill. No, it was the thought. Yeah, if the doctor tell you you're going to die in 6 months, you believe that. You're going to die in 6 months. Just that simple, because you believe in the doctor. It is no different than people go to psychics. You go and sit out at a psychic's table. Your mind is open for whatever they tell you. They tell you you're going to meet so-and-so in your life. And you walk away believing that. Guess what? It will come true, but not because the psychic knew anything. The psychic just planted the information in your head. You grew it. You the one cultivated it and made it come into your life. Now people say the psychic was right. No, you was right.
Right. And John, we actually delegate the power to that person. We do it with ministers, with mentors, with coaches. All these people, we delegate the power. I remember a school teacher when I was a kid. Actually not a school teacher, but a friend, and he was a white guy, and he made a comment. He said, "Tapper, I know you're going to be successful because you have good posture." That made no sense at all, but back then we delegated power to white people. So when he said that stuck in my head, and I had good posture, so I knew I was going to be successful. I'm successful today. It could be because of what that guy told me, but we delegate power. We walk into the doctor's office. We give them power. We go to church. We delegate power to that minister. We actually have that power ourselves. We can write it out and make it happen ourselves, but we give this power to other people, and then we let them control our lives. But it's us that have the power to do that.
That's correct.
So, with that being said, delegating that power and walking into the doctor's office, that brings me to this amazing question of the jab, getting the COVID shot. Now, as I understand, and I also want to get into a couple of your success stories with clients as well. But you got the shot, and you're someone that really speaks on the power of the mind. And even as we're sitting here, we're talking about delegating that power to someone else as they tell us what we need to believe, right? What made you go get the Jaab?
I worked for the school board, and so it was not made mandatory, but it was the smart thing to do. My wife, being a medical practitioner, also, she encouraged me to do it. But the bottom line, at the end of the day, it was my choice. Now, in spite of all the conspiracy theories and everything that people are talking about, I felt that it was the smart thing to do. When I was in the Air Force, they used the military for guinea pigs for a lot of shots and vaccines. I was given swine flu vaccines before civilians got it, just to get out of detail. They offered to say, you can get out of detail if you volunteer for this. They gave us overdoses and they gave us underdoses to kind of measure what to give civilians. I saw people go blind, have migraine headaches, got sick, and got all kind of effects from that. It didn't bother me at all. I still got a full head of hair from the radio, right? But it didn't affect me. So my belief is, que sera, whatever will be, will be. Life has a map, and I'm trying to follow that map. You can shoot me, you can hit me with a bus. If it's not my time to go, I'm not going. When it's my time, I can be fully healthy and go. Like you said earlier, don't take life too seriously, because you'll never get out alive anyway.
Got you. So once again, the power of the mind and managing your world, just the same. Now, as a health coach, as you've become, what are some of the success stories that you've dealt with in your recent venture here?
I had a client that had stage 4 breast cancer, and the doctors told her that chemo wouldn't help, it was too far advanced, and there was nothing they could do for her. I started counseling her and gave her some advice, told her what to do. She followed my advice, and in about 6 to 8 months, she became cancer-free. Now, the American Cancer Society, the local chapter, asked her to become a spokesperson for them because she became cancer-free. It had nothing to do with what they did. They said they couldn't help, but they wanted to take bragging rights. Myself, 2 years ago, I got diagnosed with cancer, prostate cancer. They told me they could do chemo, radiation, surgery, or do nothing. I said, I like that fourth choice. Let's do nothing. I knew what I was going to do, so they said, all right, we'll watch and see how fast it's growing, because from what I understand, prostate cancer is either a turtle or it's a rabbit. It grows fast or it grows slow. It doesn't stop growing, but it's going to grow. So they wanted to watch it for the year, and then I would go back and get a biopsy done a year later. I did what I had to do, and I went back for the biopsy a year later, and the cancer was gone. Now, I'm no authority on that, but from what I was told, it doesn't disappear. It grows slow or it grows fast, but it doesn't disappear. Well, this cancer disappeared, and I believe that cancer is one of the most curable diseases in the country. But we've been deceived, and we've given power to that misbelief. And as far as weight loss, I've got clients, man, that have lost 30 pounds, 40 pounds, and just dropping off like like you do. Losing weight, man, crazy.
Let me ask you. You use the word. You're using the area of the power of the mind, the ability to overcome some serious ailments when you talk about cancer and losing weight. Why couldn't you see that in the same frame when you're talking about COVID, where it's the same ideal to where you could have used the same method to cure or heal yourself outside of what the white coat doctor is telling you? I mean, you use the concept and denied the white coat doctor's remedy and then use your own. Right, so why stop now at this COVID shot?
That's a good question, John. And my belief is this: if I comply with that law, it's equivalent to me of shooting water in my veins. If they gave me a glass of water to drink, it's not going to hurt me. So what do I have to lose?
Got you. So when you think about that, you know, what do you have to lose? When I look at it personally, I'm thinking of everything that I don't know about the shot, all the things that I wish they would tell me more about ingredients, how these things really truly work, and all that good stuff. So for me, that's more of the reason as to why I don't, for the same reason why I don't get flu shots as well. And in part, the other side of that reasoning for me is knowing what I can do to continue to stay healthy and not need a vaccine. So when you say, what do you have to lose? My worry is losing in everything that I don't know of what this thing can do in my body, because there's some stuff in there that I don't feel like should be in the body. So that's for me. What do I have to lose? That's what I worry about losing.
Do you know that for sure, Joe? Do you know what's in that vaccine?
Man, you look it up, and there's some, there's some technology in there, some mRNA, some. So
you're believing what you're reading there.
Say it again.
You're believing what somebody told you, that there's little videos in there or whatever.
Hey, absolutely, definitely believe in that, and I guess like you said, we all have our choice. But most definitely.
And it probably will hurt you because you believe that. With me, I believe that it couldn't hurt me. There's nothing in there that's harmful. So, hey, give me another shot if you want to. It's not going to bother me.
I got you. Yet again, the power of the mind. My fear is if they press the button, then my power of the mind goes away. See that? See, they pressed the button and see what you did there? You started dancing.
I read about this research where they took these patients that had arthritis in the knees, rheumatoid arthritis, and they did knee surgery on them. But half of them, they didn't do any work. They spliced them and stitched them back up, and they all went through therapy. All of them were cured. They were playing basketball with their grandkids. They were doing things that they couldn't do. 2 years later, they told those other ones, we didn't do anything. We cut you and sewed you back up, and they were cured. That's the power of the mind, man. Why would I be afraid of some shot that these guys got or whatever people are saying it can do?
I feel the same way about the virus itself. I feel exactly the same way about the virus itself. What can it do to me? It can't do nothing to me if I ain't gonna let it do to me. So I can avoid, with that thought alone, I'll avoid taking the vaccine. And with that said, I think everyone needs to really do their research on what this is. Not only what COVID is itself, but it's just another string of another virus. It is tweaked a little different, but if you believe in your immune system and you build upon that immune system, then your immune system can beat anything that this earth bring your way because you are a part of the earth. And so what they do basically is push the fear, because all this is about is to lower your immune system so that you can remain sick. So somehow you're going to remain on some type of pharmaceutical. If you don't grab the power that we're talking about of knowing how to lose weight, knowing how to get over cancer, all these things is like, just like you said, Joe, is the power of the mind. And I think a lot of people are afraid because why? The media will make you afraid, and it will create a stress hormone in you. Then you'll start believing in whatever they say, and you will take the shot just because why? You in fear of something. I had someone say to me, well, I was called for my doctor to call for a checkup I haven't had in a couple of years, and they said, well, you ain't been there. I said, well, I've been okay. She said, well, what about the shot? Would you be able to take? I showed them no. I said, I'm healthy, I'm perfectly fine. She said, well, and this was a black woman. She said, well, what about your family? I said, what about my family? You mean to tell me I should take a shot for them when they ain't taking care of their health? That don't even make sense. Why don't you tell them to, I might as well, how many times I've told them to stop eating McDonald's, stop eating fried foods, and they ain't listen. You think I'm going to take a shot, a experimental shot for Pfizer and the government to see how I work and how I function off this stuff before you make it public, just to see what just to save my family? That don't even make sense. And it just really sounds like a lot of information has just been put out there that people just don't know or what to do.
I agree with you, Jaab.
Absolutely.
Best thing is when you hear the doctor says, well, it was all in your mind.
Yeah.
When you have an illness and it goes away, it's well, exactly. That's where I want my mind to do it and not the drug. So let's acknowledge that power.
I believe in placebo. I absolutely believe in the placebo. My mind is a placebo. So when you study that placebo, in fact, I forgot the year placebo was dubbed placebo, but actually it was called, before it was called placebo, it had another name to it. Back in the 1700s, when they came across this discovery of giving the people and telling the people what it would do for you, but it's actually just a sugar pill. When they was just doing mind things at that time, because over 80% of the medicine today are trial medicines are done through placebo first before they actually can prove that medicine really works.
Right.
Absolutely. I tell you what now, let me ask you, Pops, Brother Tapper, if, people want to get in contact with you concerning this weight loss program, how can they do that? And talk a little bit real quick about the actual program itself.
MyCoachForWeightLoss.com is a website you can go to, and you can friend me on Facebook, the Health Coach Tapper. We've been trained and misled. 3 square meals a day, breakfast your most important meal, so make it a big meal, and all these things, man. The 5 basic food groups. There's so many things that we've been misled about, and now obesity is an epidemic. So it even goes back to what John was saying about this virus and the vaccine. It's like we're guinea pigs, and things are just being done to us to benefit some company's bottom line. Just follow the money. But once we educate people and we coach them how to eat, what to eat, how many times a day to eat, different things, and they're finding the weight just drops off. It goes against all traditional training and conventional knowledge to do what we do. And we're not meant to be fat like this. There's no big boneless people. Your skeleton is about 20 pounds. What the hell is the rest of that? I mean, all the rest of that weight, the 20 pounds of skeleton, all the rest of that weight, man, we're not made to carry that much weight.
Absolutely. So when you say that, then Miss Janice, I know you said she was dealing with some knee problems. Now, after she lost the weight, what has happened to her knee problems now?
She had a problem with her set. And you know, I'm the kind of person I don't like to be, and I told you so, but I say it inside. You know, it's like one time I told my wife, I said, you know what? I'm gonna put my foot down. I'm the man of the house. And I didn't see her for 3 days. Then after 3 days of sweating, my eyes went down and I could see her again. Now I just keep it to myself and I do self-talk.
Got you. Well, I tell you what, you know, it's interesting when you talk about this because, you know, all of these companies, American Heart Disease and, you know, Cancer Research Institute and all these people that are supposed to be telling us about, you know, how to be healthy. You know, you go to their website to look for, you know, recipes and things of that nature. And they're probably some of the worst recipes on the planet when it comes to weight loss and getting rid of cancer and things of that nature. You know, what is it that this program has done different that allows people to see such great results? Because you guys are getting some fantastic results all the time as people jump on this program. It's like it's an easy thing to do in a sense almost.
Yeah, it is the easiest thing that I have seen, and that's why I got so passionate about it, because I finally found something that I can offer people to help them do one of the most difficult things that they've ever been faced with. I don't know anybody that wants to be fat, anybody that wants to be obese, but yet a majority of the people in America are obese. So it's not because they want to, but they don't have any alternatives. I want to let people know there is an alternative. And it's easy when you compare it to what alternatives I see out there. Most of the things I see out there, people try to get them in the gym. You try to get somebody that's grossly obese in the gym. You know, might as well stick your lips to the wall of a burning building before you try to get them in there. It's not gonna happen. I get up and work out maybe 4 times a week, 4:30 in the morning. I don't want to do that. I dislike working out. I don't like gym, but I do it because I like the way it makes me feel afterwards, and I like the results that I get. And so, working out and going to the gym, that's not the way to lose weight. But that's what I see being sold, and it discourages people because they'll try to work out and they quit because it's an impossibility. Here's a fact. You would have to jog 35 miles to lose 1 pound of fat. 35 miles. Because there's 3,500 calories in 1 pound of fat. And you burn about 100 calories when you jog for 1 mile. So it's ridiculous, but you can change the way you eat and really lose weight rapidly.
Now, I'll tell you what, we're going to continue this on the after show online. But I want to say to everyone out there in radio land, this has been another episode of the Tipping Point Morning Show with your host, Mr. Just As Joe and brother John Jaab. We will see you next week right here. Same time, same place. See you soon.
Peace out and be well.
All right. Now we're going to back out of here real quick and come back in so we can that whole thing. Let's see. 1 second. All right. Everybody unmute themselves here on the show. Everybody hear me?
Yep, I'm in.
All right. Pops, you there?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which mic.
You sound good and clear.
You sound good.
Just the same. So whichever mic it is, I don't know. But I tell you what, interesting show. Real quick here, folks.
You are listening to The Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John Yeh. Right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, The Tipping Point Show.
All right. So once again, we're back to the after show here, and not going to spend too much time because I know we all have some things that we got to carry on and take care of. But real quick, as we dive into this, just thinking about the weight loss and everything. How has the pandemic affected this industry right now? I believe you're muted.
Okay, so that button does work. It's kind of like what John Yeh's daughter was talking about. Business is booming as a result of it because people have been locked indoors, and when you become afraid, you eat. When you're lonely, you eat. All of these emotions cause people to eat. And so they've been overeating, and now they've got weight that they're not used to having, and they want to get rid of it. I mean, 20 pounds doesn't sound like a lot, but you imagine when you carry a backpack and it's 20 pounds, that's a bunch of weight. You take it off, you feel light. And so COVID has given a lot of weight that they want to get rid of. So the business is good. Got you.
So any quick anythings, John, I know we get into some really good conversations about the power of the mind and such like that. Why do you guys believe that weight loss is such a difficulty, especially, in America, I guess we can say, because America is last I checked, the third fattest country in the world, right? Among all organized countries, right? And I think we're the third behind like two countries that are big on sumo wrestling and such like that, right? Which they believe in getting fat on purpose. Apparently in their culture, the men love big voluptuous women, and they get fat based on like vegetables and stuff more so. They kind of get healthy fat if there is such a thing. But so we're like the third fattest country behind two countries that believe in getting fat on purpose. So with that in mind, that kind of makes us number one, when it comes to that. But mentally, why is it so difficult for people to lose weight? Why don't they just use the power of the mind and let it drop off?
Well, that's an interesting question, and I'm gonna put it in two folds. And I'm gonna start with the first one. The first one is when you are in the womb of your mother and how she ate is the first programming that you get of being addicted to food, specifically sugar. So right now you have foods that are lacking nutrition, and that's the problem. See, there is no such thing as a fat person, to be honest with you. They're not actually fat. They're actually malnourished, right? Because the body is not getting nutrition. The reason why people who are big and overweight and they're still eating, you be like, damn, you just ate just a few minutes ago. You don't look like you don't need to eat for a week. They're starving because they're starving of nutrition, you see? So it's just like you see a baby in Africa with a big belly, That's just the opposite for people who are eating foods that lacks nutrition. Here's what the body does. The body is intelligent as hell, even though we're stupid as fuck in what we're putting in our body. So let me give you an example. You eat some food that is what is called, and we just did a show on this about diabetes. We eat food that is called insulin resistant food. Okay, this is GMO type of food. The insulin does not recognize, your natural insulin does not recognize when you put this food in your body. So what the body does, you have natural cells that eat enzymes. All cells need enzymes to live, right? They're all cells. You got enzymes, and then you got cells that eat enzymes. So your body recognizes food, and it recognizes it for what the enzymes are. If the enzymes have, I'll give you an example, carrots, things that are brightly colored are good for the eyes. It means it have nutrition that is good for the eyes and the back of the eye, for the eye can see better. So each food has a particularly enzyme that is for a certain part of your body. You can eat kidney beans. Kidney beans is for the kidney. That's why it's called kidney beans. But what people are doing is eating insulin-resistant foods that the cells can't recognize. So here's what the cells do. You eat the food, cells can't break that shit down. It says, I don't know what to do with this shit. I can't take it through the digestive system because the digestive system don't know what to do. So then it sets it in fatty cells in your hip, in your thighs. This is not your stomach, by the way. Your stomach is right here. This is your gut, all in your legs and your butt. And so it stores it there, and it never goes nowhere because the body can't utilize what you ate. So if it can't utilize it, it can't burn it. And this is why you see people will lose weight and they still have extra flab, because it's still storing those fatty cells that it can't get rid of. So then people go and have suction to suck it out. That's number one. And so what it is basically, it is, and I'm gonna give it to you in 5-dimension consciousness. There's a level of 5-dimension consciousness. The first dimension is the first 1 and 2 is the consciousness of theta wave. It means that you are just programmed. You are just taking in programs. It's all you're doing is taking in programs. That's the stage from your birth, from the mindset up to you're 7 years old. That means you carried it on to where you're just in the first 2 stages of consciousness. You're still downloading information. Based on the information you download is going to determine how your life is going to end up later. Third conscious dimension is dimension of belief. Based upon what you've been through your first theta wave consciousness, now you believe in the things that you were told. You believe in the things that you was heard. That's the third one. If it's something on the radio, you believe it. Something on the TV and the movies, you believe it. Something in your Bible, you believe it. It's the third dimension. A lot of people never move forward to the 4th and 5th dimension. What is the 4th dimension? 4th dimension is when you fucking start questioning everything. When you realize all that shit is a lie. The way I've been eating is a lie. This phony ass belief in God is a lie. You start questioning everything. That's the 4th dimension. The 5th dimension is when you realize all this shit is an illusion and you can control all of it. You can make it good or bad, whatever you want. You can improve your life or you can keep your life the same. Most people who are in the 3rd dimension are people who are believers, and they can't get beyond being believers because of their cognitive dissonance. It won't allow them to come to question what they think they know. So if you're walking around in this world believing in everything you think, you're a fool. Because here's the thing, everything elevates and changes. That means you can't grow if you believe in everything you think. You should always question shit, specifically shit that was downloaded into your brain since you was a child to now. Whether it is religion, everything you hear on TV, everything you hear and see on the white coat doctor's back, and everything you see in the Bible. You should be questioning everything you think you know. So those are the reasons why we're stuck in this condition. We can't change our diets. We can't think about wanting to eat better because while we are addicted to sugar, number one, and we're addicted to certain foods that they have already planted to make you addicted. I see it also in marketing, how it works in marketing. One more thing. Do you know Pepsi and Coca-Cola have what is called IP? And IP and intellectual property in it that no other drink can't have? Guess what that do? That little IP launches into your brain and is connected to your emotions. When you think of a Coca-Cola, if you're a Coca-Cola drinker, when you think of a Coca-Cola, won't it make you feel good? Yeah, because it's actually been uploaded into your brain and you don't even know you're craving for it. That's how it works.
So speaking of finding ourselves in particular positions, Brother Frank Stoner, Mr. Health Daddy, wow, has joined us. And it seems as though he has found himself in sort of a precarious position. What's that position that you found yourself in, Brother Health Daddy?
What do you say, fellas? How you all doing today? How's everybody?
All right.
Good.
Actually, I'm laying on my back right now, Joe. And I'm laying on a table. I'm doing my every 6-month colonic. And actually, this table, I got a little
Don't
sheet
show
over
too
me,
much.
you know, but it's not gonna be able to see anything. And the table,
All right,
it's got the booty
you can't say colonic and then start moving the camera around. That don't scare us, Frank.
That's
That's
TMV. Too much video.
the boot. The tail don't got the booty out of it. Got the booty out of it. So it's like a toilet. And then you have this tubal that's coming out of it, you know, like a little white tubal that's no bigger than, and you know, you insert it, you know, within the rectum. I know guys, especially guys, are really paranoid about this kind of thing, but it's no bigger than an ink pen. I tell you what, those who are
EP. When you say EP, you mean like an album? No bigger than an album? EP. What's the EP?
Now,
an ink pen. Okay, my fault.
Ink pen. No problem. And it's not bigger than that doctor's finger that they stick in your butt when you be having those when prostate checks, you know. So it's smaller than that. So fellas, don't be paranoid about this. This is really good. And you insert it, and it has a water flow that comes up through you and fills the intestinal tract up. Then you release, fill you up, release. And this goes on for about 45 minutes. And I tell you, it is my cleaner that I have been doing for, you know, probably ever since I've been in the health for at least 10 years. I've always had trouble with my digestive tract and colon.
This went too far.
Gave me a lot of sleep. You know, I grew up constipated as a little boy. And a lot of people don't believe me when I used to say it used to take me a month to go to the restroom, at least 30 days. Woo! Yeah, I was so jacked up. But you know what? I kind of knew as I got older it was a problem, but I didn't, you know, you don't really pay attention to it. And a lot of people go through life now. That's why when a lot of people come in my store and I ask them are they constipated, and they be like, no, I'm regular. Now I gotta ask, what is regular? Well, you know, yeah, I go once a week. Woo. You see, people don't know. And this is something we don't talk about in our community. So
yeah, we don't talk about boo-boo.
No, we don't. And it's one of the most important things for health. Hey. You know, so when I started doing this, kid to help clean me out and help my system to be better. So I just do it every 6 months. It helps me out a lot. I tell you, it brought me a long way to health, you know.
Hey, I make a conscious effort that any woman I date that I know all about how their bowels move. Just, you know, I don't know. I think your bowels is like, your colon is kind of like the first sign that something's wrong in your body is shown through your bowel habits. You know.
Well, you know, on that point, Joe, a lot of people don't know that they should look at what came out of them, you know, before they flush, because like you say, that's an indicator of what's inside you is what just came out of you. You got to look at that.
Some people might turn around and look and see something looking back at them.
Right.
And that's important to know that you got a parasite in there or something, you know?
Yeah. So looking at your stool is a first good sign. You should always look at your stool. You should always turn around, just look at your stool. There are certain symbols where your stool determines whether or not your digestive system is working well. If the stool is solid, hard, not really hard, but falls to the bottom of the toilet, that means if it's dark, that means if it's floating, that's not good. If it's broke apart, that's not good. That determines either two things. Either you're not digesting your food right, or you're not eating digestible food, either one or the other. But here's another sign that you're not eating right. Before you get to there, something's wrong with your colon. Your skin will identify something's wrong with your inside. Just looking at your skin, are you breaking out? That's
Exactly.
you're not moving everything out. Are you having dark marks around here?
Yeah, I mean, because ultimately, if in
that
fact,
determines some things about your body.
yeah, I mean, if you're full of shit, it's gonna come out some kind of way.
It's gonna come out.
So now, Frank, is this something that is this a room you have in your home yourself that you're doing? Did you plug that pin size thing in yourself?
No, actually, Joe, I want to eventually try to get me something, a facility like this, for the future. But right now, I travel up to Indianapolis.
It'd be kind of hard when you showing a woman around your place, and this is my colonic room.
Right. Hey, they'll love it. Once they get into it, they'll love it anyway. But I make a trip out of it every 6 months and come up here on my birthday and first of the year. And, and just get myself cleaned out. And I'm going to be honest. Everybody think Health Daddy might be perfect and he don't do this and he don't do that. But I'm going to tell you, I really needed it this time because for some reason I had gotten into a lot of fried cauliflower. I love fried cauliflower, especially in Indian restaurants, fried mushrooms and, little angel hair pasta. And I just kind of done too much this year, and I kind of needed it. So, so I don't eat as healthy all the time. And people think fried cauliflower and fried mushrooms is healthy. A fried vegetable is not healthy, folks. It's just in my opinion.
That's right.
I mean, that is I would say a delicacy or a treat, a reward for someone who is trying to stay away from meat or what have you, or someone that is trying to eat a little healthier. Maybe that's a little treat, a little reward for yourself. But just as anything else, moderation. You shouldn't be doing that much at all. I learned a word yesterday. Went to eat some sushi, and in Chinese, when they talk about you being full, they say bao. The word is bao, and she rubbed her belly, and I just thought, wow, how closely related to the English word of bowels is that as we talk about being full in Chinese. But between your skin and your colon, your skin is the largest organ that you have. So definitely a telltale sign of something going on inside will show up on your skin, and your bowel movements changing being one of the first things that showcase yet another one of the first things that showcase that something's wrong inside. Now, with this process, Frank, are you collecting the jars of your insides? You mark it for this 6 months, and that's it. You put a date on it and set it on a shelf. I mean, how's that work?
No, Joe. I just clean it out. I was kind of fascinated with it the first couple of years I did it or something like that, but I've never collected anything. That's why I showed over here. It kind of shows you, and it goes down. Can you hear me? It kind of shows you.
Yep.
Over there, and it goes down a drain. So if you want to see what's coming out of you, kind of look over. It's a little bit hard to see. So, but you can look over and see if anything strange is coming out of you or what have you. And a lot of people get shocked at even in the toilet that comes out of them. But I say you should embrace that. Embrace that because it's not in you anymore. Embrace that it's
embrace
still
that shit. Embrace
no
that
matter
shit.
how it looks, be glad it's gone. And I'm just showing people it is a facility in Louisville that if folks want to get with me so they can do this, who have really colon issues, can get with me and I can tell them how to get there, and everything. I was just showing around how nice this facility is. It's a really clean place, even though it's dealing with waste and toxicity and that kind of thing.
Do they play any calming music?
Oh yes, she do. She has a very instrumental type of music. I wouldn't suggest. I do this. I'm doing this for y'all. I wouldn't suggest anybody, do anything stressful or be on the phone, especially if it's a stressful phone call or something like that. This actually gets rid of stress, Joe. I'm gonna tell you. I came up here a little intense, because a lot of things are going on right now. I came up here a little intense this time. And I tell you, this is my second day. Yesterday I came and got mine. I used to do two. Yesterday I came and I did it. And after I got done, man, I tell you, it was just like I was walking on cloud nine. The stress was kind of relieved. I felt better. I felt lighter. So I got rid of some of that fried cauliflower that I had open doors in Louisville. So, that's why I told you guys. I told John yesterday that I'm up here and this is something that I'm doing. And he's glad. He's like, well, come on, show with it. We don't mind you coming on. And if this could really help somebody, like it helped me, I'm into that. I say do it. Go for it. Especially if you don't know if you have parasitic, a worm problem, mucus problem within the gut, IBS, all this. You never know what this can do. The lady who gives this, her facility is very knowledgeable, very, very professional. About every year, every 6 months, I say. So you don't have anything to worry about. It's not, as you can see, I'm not in any discomfort. You don't really hear anything. If you hear a little something, just don't pay attention. Just keep going. But like I said, it's very clean. She stays on top of the cleanliness. You just can't go. In my opinion, you can't go wrong with this, especially if you having really bad constipation problems with the digestive tract. If your skin is bad, as John was saying, and yourself, I call that the skin is pooping when you have acne or even back acne or butt. A lot of people have breakouts on their buttocks, acne, so to speak. It's the skin want to poop out them toxins. So I get a lot of people who come into the shop talking about, well, what do you have for acne? And the first thing I tell them is you got to do 6 glasses of water a day, because that might help you some of them toxins. You never know.
As I was wondering, if somebody asked that question and you just hand them a bottle of water and say, here.
Yeah, let me ask you, what it smell like in there? Do they need my incense in there?
That's why. Good question. I was gonna say that before. I was gonna say that before I forgot. No, you don't get any odor. It's very well ventilated, and she has somebody else in the other room. She has like 2 other rooms, and they be doing their thing. And no, you never smell anything. So it's amazing how this is set up. And as I said, it's going into the future. I want to have this, as you said, Joe, in my personal home for my personal use.
And Frank,
this is wonderful, man. I absolutely love it. And the water that's going in me, it's a room temperature, a little warm, so it's not freezing me out or anything.
Frank, let me dovetail on something you said. I've never seen anybody so excited about what you're doing. but I want to add, you don't have to, for the people that's listening, you don't have to be sick or have acne or anything like that to have a colonic. Do it as a preventative. If you eat meat at all, you should have a colonic regularly. So you may look good, you may feel healthy and all that. I still recommend having a colonic to prevent something from happening down the road.
And you want to go Absolutely. 2 days it is recommended, not just by me, but professionals, to go 2 days. You don't just want to do it one day. You want to come back the next day because it stirs up a lot of things in your body. And then you want to come the next day to make sure you're getting it all out. Also, after you do a cleanse, like one of my cleanses, the whole body cleanse. Can you imagine doing a parasite worm cleanse that I have? And then after you get done, you come up here and, if you have dead worms and eggs and those kind of things, just kind of in the nooks and crannies of the digestive tract, imagine what this would do. It would go up in there and flushing things out for you, get that stuff out of the colon.
I'll be honest. I have wanted to do this for a long time, but it has been something that I just hadn't ran to go do. It's an interesting thing, but I feel like I would see benefit. I know I would see benefit, and being that I've never done it, I know it would be very beneficial for me. So, I think maybe I'll do a tipping point show from the table one day.
Yeah,
and,
Joe, you really should do it.
I think you should. I think you should too, Joe.
I should do it. Yeah.
You should
do it on the second day, because if it's your first time, you might want to say that.
Maybe I need 3 days or something like that. I don't know. Maybe 3 days would benefit me.
But to your father's comment real quick, yes, sir. I am excited because I'm going to tell you, this helped save my life. For a person, it's a part of it with eating right, drinking my water, getting some good herbals in my body like fennel, senna, sea moss, and it has a lot of fiber in it. So it's just saved my life. And I tell you, I don't have a bunch of gray. I'm 58 right now. I don't have a bunch of gray hair. People comment on my skin, and I gotta honestly say, for a person who's going to the restroom about every 30 days, maybe, and then when I did try to go, it was a little turd or something. And man, I was eating 3 meals a day.
Wow.
3 meals a day, and you go to the restroom once a month, and it'd be a little turd or something. It was awful. It was,
man, your meals must have been.
Thing.
Your meals must have just been rice and bread, bread, and cheese. It sounds like all you ate.
Yeah, all that stuff that stop you up, all that dry stuff, Joe. That I grew up in a household that we wasn't hungry, but when it got to the end of the month, we ate a lot of rice and cereal and cow's milk and beans and cornbread and those kind of things. And what did all that have in common? Fried chicken, pork chops, all that stuff. It has no fiber. So I grew up in a home that we got 0 fiber.
Sounds delicious, though.
I ain't bringing it on my mom or nothing, but rice, oatmeal.
Frank,
but we had to eat.
Yeah, Frank, it goes back to what John Yah said at the beginning, and those different stages of knowledge. We were trained that, and so now people think it's normal to go to the bathroom once a week, once a month, and because that's what it's been told us, that and people believe that that's the knowledge that they have. They don't realize that you should pass your food 21 hours after you eat it. So if you're eating 3 times a day, you should be going 3 times a day. And people go once a week, once a month. That is unheard of. I've never heard of anybody once a month, dude. That's serious.
Yes, sir. And this went on for years and years. Brother, it didn't really get to me till I got in my late 30s, like 38 years old. And
you sound like you were a walking dead.
Yes. Could imagine when I first started to cleanse and get this stuff out of me, the smell was ratchet. It was the worst. It's like some crawled up in me and died. It was the worst. You're right. So that's why I'm so excited. And I'm so excited to tell people that you don't have to suffer anymore. Right. It's things that you can do.
You can do.
You do better.
And
everybody should do better.
That should have been
this,
that should have been what Obama ran on. You can do. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Hey, maybe we'll make a T-shirt with that.
Wow.
A Health Daddy Wild T-shirt that on the front says "You can do," and then on the back it says "Yes, you can." HealthDaddyWild.net.
Yeah, that's right. This is the key to health. If you don't have a healthy colon, this is the key to health.
Yeah.
Or you can come in and get one of my cleanses to help you out with that until you can.
I can tell when the tube gets shoved in a little farther.
Because this has saved my life. This is one of the things that has saved my life, in my opinion. Yes, I'm happy, excited to do it, and like I said, real quick, Joe. When I was having symptoms of clogged colon and being stopped up like I was, it was brain fog. It was hallucinating. Really. What else? My breath, I could imagine my breath probably stank. Nobody didn't really tell me.
Yep.
My eyes was yellow. And usually that's a sign of the liver in trouble too.
Exactly.
But fatigue, I was always tired all the time, just slow. The gut, having a gut is one sign that you really need to be cleaned out. So it's just helped me tremendously. I was 212 when I started. So it helped you in losing weight. So it's all kinds of benefits to this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have, you don't have any discomfort. I didn't have any discomfort, but when I first started, I had a little discomfort, just a little discomfort. It was going in me, and sometimes you have things attached to the digestive walls or something like that, and it was just kind of breaking that apart. And once it broke it apart, you just kind of release it. So,
wow.
And after that, it's pretty much smooth sailing after that.
That's a nice verbiage there, smooth sailing. As you talk about your movement there,
Joe,
Pops, I'm gonna tell you too, real quick before you say something. Frank, being Health Daddy Wow, you guys should talk, because that weight loss program, I think, would be something great for Frank to offer his clients, as well as yet another avenue for some people that just want to substitute what they're eating and spend probably less money a month to do that. But yeah, you guys should talk. I'll definitely link you up. What were you about to say, Pops?
I was going to say, Frank, what do you recommend as far as frequency of getting the getting hosed down, getting the colonic?
Say it again?
How often do you recommend that people should get colonics for the people that's listening? For a person, let's say a meat eater, how often do you recommend they should get a colonic?
I think when they first start, it was recommended to me by professionals, at the baddest shape I was in, it was to do about 20 back to back, about 20 of them back to back. I know some people couldn't do that. I couldn't really do it at the time. So I used to come every weekend. I would do it every weekend till I got 20 in. And then after that, and once I started to eat right, drink my water and do cleanses periodically, I would say about I like twice a year. I like to do it about twice a year, every 6 months. If I was a meat eater, I probably would do it every 3 months or something, or 4 times a year, like every season or something like that. I would recommend that.
And let me interject this for the fellas that may be concerned about getting that little tube inserted. The alternative is impacted bowels, where you can have surgery, or they stick their hand up your rectum and dislodge the blockage. So you can pick a tube or a hand. It's your choice.
Yes, you can. And people has, and let me say this, for this small price, what's going on here, people have actually had to go to the doctor and get it enemas, you know, and get it removed. And you can imagine the doctor bill just from that. When you go to the doctor, you know, you're going to pay a ton of money. So if this is what you need, I mean, you're talking, you know, $80 to $100 or something like that. And some insurance is paid for it. So you might want to look into that. You know, so yes, you can save yourself a ton of money and get into health.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we've got mycoachforweightloss.com. We've got healthdaddywild.net, and we have sayababa.com, as well as justaskjoe.net. Folks, you know, this has been yet another episode here. Is there any last words? You know, because let me first say that for everybody here that is focused on health and wellness in the space that they're in, you know, I love what you do when you do what you do.
Express yourself.
Express yourself.
There you go.
What a great slogan for that field of business.
Exactly. You should, you know, listen, just let the lady, you know, the office that you're at, let them know that I'm selling that slogan right there. They can buy it for $19.99 reoccurring monthly. So they can buy that slogan.
That's cool.
Any last words there, John? Yeah, anything you want to say before you bounce?
What was Frank? What was you saying, Frank?
What were you saying, Frank?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go here too, so I'm gonna give my last word. I would suggest if you have bad issues, if you're constipated, you know, I mean skin issues, if you're constipated, highly constipated, if you're having fog issues, if you have sinus issues, allergy issues, I would suggest you get into colon hydrotherapy. You know, and it's a wonderful thing, and I appreciate you brothers having me on. And man, y'all keep up the good work. John, let me say this: I have a sister that may be calling you. She's you know, for a show, and look for that call. She's very vocal on a lot of issues, and you know, so I just want to run that by you real quick. But I'm out of here. I'm at peace. I feel a lot better. I've been releasing ever since I've been on the phone. Y'all ain't heard nothing.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, Frank, you keep doing it.
I will, brother. Peace out. Y'all keep up the good work. All right?
Peace.
All right, peace, Frank. Oh man, anything you guys want to say before we bounce out?
Yeah, real quick, I wanna just break out this understanding. I'm gonna try to make it quick here. About it is dealing with connecting to the universe. You know, so you know there is three things we need to understand. First, energy, vibration, and frequency. Those three things is what universal language to speak. So in other words, it is energy, it is frequency, or energy, vibration, and frequency, because whatever energy you incur, you create a vibration, and that vibration is a frequency, which is a signal. So if you have a thought in your mind, that mind is a vibration and it creates a frequency. So everything you're looking around right now, if you're looking around you, everything is made up of energy. And it is vibrating at a certain frequency. That table is vibrating at a certain frequency. That phone is vibrating at a certain frequency. Everything is vibrating at a certain frequency. So when you think of a table, you begin to think of that table or a table that you want in your space, that sends out a frequency, and that table is vibrating at the same frequency. That table comes into your life. It's just that simple. So we need to understand this in the terms of how we can live our lives better by using this frequency first, this connected frequency of your thoughts, who you think you are, what you want around you, what kind of life you want, what kind of people you want around you. And then once you send that frequency out, it's a signal, and it's going to connect with those with the same frequency. And that's how you draw that into your life. That's how you draw money into your life. That's how you draw whatever it is, health into your life. You draw it in based on your thoughts. So a lot of people are unaware of how to control their thinking. This goes back to while you're eating foods that are no good to you, even though you're listening to this message, you are not answering your subconscious mind, which is causing that frequency to continue to bring into your life the bad food and the bad energy. This is why when women or men is in a bad relationship, you're sending out that frequency, you get out of that relationship, and you bring in the same person, another person with the same identity, to create the same frequency over and over again. So I encourage everyone that to maintain the focus on your subconscious mind, your thinking, what it is you want to bring into your life. Stay focused on it. Stay focused on it, and bring about what I would like to call an elevated emotion with it, and watch your life change. Think about being happy and watch you be happy. Just that simple. So understand that with your health. If you're healthy, no, if you're sick, don't hang around sick people. Go find some healthy people to be around. Go find some people that make you laugh, right? To change your frequency of being sick so that you would in turn be healthy.
Everything
I guess that goes into the idea of misery loves company.
Yeah.
Everything that we experience on earth, John, everything that's made first existed in someone's mind.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Any last words, Pops, before we go?
No, it's all good, man. I've enjoyed it.
All right.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, once again, folks, this has been yet another episode of the Tipping Point After Show, and we will see you all again next week. Same place, same time. You said what?
I said, peace out, Pops. Joe, good seeing you again.
Hey,
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. All right, fellas.
We'll talk.
You are listening to The Tipping Point Show with your host, Mr. Just Ask Joe, John Yeah. Right here on WLOU. Stream it live on Facebook and WLOUonline.com. And now, The Tipping Point Show.